And let's get started with the grammar. So your grammar books, we are on page, hold on, I gotta get my notes out now. Page 25. 25 in your grammar books here.
The heater's on.
It's cold, huh?
It's just that we haven't had the heater on for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it smells weird when it first starts up. Huh?
I don't smell anything.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's because we have an old house. Alrighty, so we're talking about adverbs today. An adverb, we already know that from actually, well, some of you know that. I think Kylie obviously does. But that's a word that we started using. Well, no, everybody knows that. We've started using that in our writing. What am I thinking? You've already done that. So an adverb adds to the verb, right? That's when you find the verb and then you look for or think of an ly word to go in front of it. And then when you're looking for an adverb, though, in this book for your homework, you're going to ask yourself these questions. So the first thing to do is identify the verb, the action, and then ask yourself how, when, where, why, or to what extent. And that will tell you an ly adverb. And usually it ends in ly. Sometimes it doesn't in this book, but most of the time it does. All right. To mark it, you're going to put adv for adverb on top of the word. That's the adverb. Here's your example. The deer carefully hid in a secluded thicket. Is that, can you hear me, Jason? Yet? No? Okay. Let me ask Jason something because hold on a second here. Somebody's in the chat, or I mean in the waiting room. Oh, okay. They're trying to figure out the sound. Carefully hid. So hid is that verb in the sentence. And then you ask that question, how? How did he hide? He carefully hid, right? So you're going to put adv on top of the word carefully. Here we have more of a description of ly adverbs. And there's a place in the back of the book. If you want to make a master list of your ly words that you come across in the book, you can, to help you with your writing, because that is on your dress up list, the ly adverb. So sometimes if you make a list, then it'll help you when you go to the part of writing the paragraph to know what word to use. There's also something here called the noun of direct address. A noun of direct address, NDA, is a noun used to refer to someone directly. It names the person spoken to. It's just a fancy way of saying that. Ian, did you have a question?
Yeah. Are we in the Fix-It Robin Hood grammar?
Yep, we always start with Fix-It grammar. We're on page 25. Okay. A noun of direct address is usually in a quote. When you have a character speaking and then you put quotation marks around it, like here's the example, Robin, tomorrow you will win the contest, his friend. So that the way that's written with Robin right here, he's speaking to Robin, right? So Robin, tomorrow you will win the contest, his friend said. Or if I say to Kylie, you will have a great day today. If I'm talking to Kylie and I address her, right, I'm speaking directly to her, that's called the noun of direct address. Here, it shows it after this first word here. It says, tomorrow, Robin, you will win the contest, his friend said. So even though it starts with tomorrow, Robin is still the noun of direct address. That's who the person is talking to. Here's another example. Tomorrow you will win the contest, Robin, his friend said. So this one's at the end. Still the same thing. You're speaking directly to that character. Because a noun can perform only one function in a sentence, a noun of direct address is never the subject of a sentence. in these sentences, the noun of direct address is Robin because that is the noun used to directly address Robin. The subject is the pronoun you. So here is the pronoun in that sentence because the noun of direct address is not the subject. It's you. So when you're labeling that, you'll put S for subject on top of you. That's a pronoun, by the way. And then commas. Here's a couple comma rules or one comma rule. Place commas around noun of direct address. So you can see here when it's at the beginning, comma. When it's in the middle, before and after the comma. And then when it's at the end, the comma before. So there's always a comma next to the noun of direct address. And here it says add commas to separate the noun of direct address from the sentence. Robin, you should enter the contest, his friend suggested. So here it is, Robin in the beginning, and a comma right after that. Okay. One more page to go over on page 26. Homophones. Homophone, that prefix homo means same, and then phone means sound. So homophone means same sound. Okay. So these are words that sound exactly the same, but they're spelled differently and they have different meanings. So for example, it's and your. Okay, they sound the same, but they are spelled a little different with apostrophes. Looking at the word it's without the apostrophe, it's is a possessive pronoun. It's target. Like Robin, oh wait, let's see. It's target, how can I use that in a sentence? The goal, no, it's target. It's target. The target belongs to it. Huh? Oh, somebody's talking in the background. The target belongs to it. That's what that means. It's target, okay? And it does not have an apostrophe there. If it has an apostrophe, like this one, it's with an apostrophe, that's a contraction. And that is for it is, right? So it's spring with an apostrophe means it is spring. Look at your and your. And this one drives me crazy because people misuse these words or misspell them all the time. Your without the apostrophe, Y-O-U-R, is a possessive pronoun. It means your bow and arrow, okay? And it belongs to you. But your with an apostrophe, R-E, is the contraction you are, okay? So you're right, you are right, or you're welcome. That's the one that's a lot of people accidentally just put Y-O-U-R, but it really should be Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. Okay, those are called homophones, and we just have to be aware of them and watch for them. Sometimes in this book, though, they put them in there wrong on purpose to make you find the mistakes. For example, down here, it's trying to hide, but its antlers are showing. You're on your way to the archery contest. So those are the two examples when it's spelled wrong. You draw one line through the mistake and then write it correctly above it. That's how you fix it in this book for your homework. So it's trying to hide. It is trying to hide, but its antlers are showing. So its antlers are showing. That tells that the antlers belong to it. You're on your way to the archery contest. You are on your way to the archery contest. Okay, so just be watching for those mistakes in this book for homework, and you're going to draw one line through the mistake and spell it correctly above that. Okay, Ian, I need you to stop messing with your Zoom call, okay? I'm going to have Kylie go ahead and read the sentences here.
Robin immediately took offense and challenged the forester. Sir, do you see the deer at the edge of the wood? I bet you 20 pounds that I can hit it.
Good, nice reading. And pounds in Europe is money, right? But here we've got offense. That's the vocabulary word for today. And it just means like resentment or emotional pain, like you're offended by something. If somebody says something, you take offense or you took offense to it. It's personal, right? So go ahead and put a check by vocabulary. And you know what to do here. Write in a and the, and go ahead and find those and label it AR. Jason, did you have a question? Can you hear me okay now?
So I am on my phone right now to hear you. I saw there's an update, so I figured that might fix it. I was wondering if I could be excused for like a minute.
Yes, you can, Jason. Thanks for letting me know. And I recorded this, so later, whatever you miss, you can watch, okay? So go ahead and do what you need to do.
I'm
It's
sorry. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
Yeah, I know your brother had trouble with the internet this morning too, so but if you need to go and update your Zoom, go ahead and do that and I'll let you back in, okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, so you should have those 4 thes with AR on top for article, and then you can check that off. I'm gonna have Ian help us find those 8 nouns. There's 8 nouns in here. Go ahead, Ian. You have a question? Maybe he can't hear me.
You're like breaking up and I can't hear you.
Oh, weird. I wonder if it's my internet. Can you hear me okay now?
Sort of.
Sort of.
It
Okay.
said my internet was unstable.
Okay, why don't you try turning off your camera and see if that helps the sound, okay? Because sometimes it's taking up too much bandwidth if you have both on. Is that better if you turn off your camera?
Yeah.
Okay, so leave your camera off. That's okay for today. But Ian, I was going to call on you to find the 8 nouns in the sentences here. Can you find the 8 nouns? Go ahead and unmute so I can hear you.
Sorry. Yeah. Robin.
Good.
Challenge.
Challenged is a verb. Okay. Forester. Good.
Stir.
Good.
Deer.
Good.
Edge.
Yes. Good.
Wood.
Good.
Hounds.
Good. And that's 7. So the 8th one is a little tricky to find, but it's offense. So offense, because it says took offense, that means offense is a noun. So go ahead and put an N above that.
Okay.
Ian, nice job. And then let's see, Natalia, how about the 5 pronouns? Remember, those take the place of a noun. So words like he, she, you, I, me, things like that, okay?
You.
Good. He, are for pronoun, good. What else?
You again.
You again,
Bottom.
good.
I.
Yes.
And
There's 2 more. At the end, I'll tell you that clue.
can.
No, that's a verb, but here we have another I. And what is the pronoun to take the place of a thing, like an object? That's not a boy or a girl. What word do you use to say that?
Do?
Is actually it right here. It is a pronoun that, and it's talking about, I bet you 20 pounds that I can hit it. He's talking about the deer. Or do you see the deer at the edge of the wood? I bet you 20 pounds that I can hit it. So he's hunting, basically. And it is referring to the deer. Even though a deer could be a boy or a girl, but maybe they can't see it or they can't tell from that far away, so they call it there. Okay, good. Good job, Natalia. An adjective, Kylie, where are the adjectives? Or I guess there's just one adjective.
Challenge.
Pound?
Challenge.
Oh, no, not, that's a verb, challenged. So I'm looking for an adjective, a word that would describe a noun. Like, look at the noun pound.
20.
There you go. 20 tells how many. And when you ask that question, how many, and you find a word, then that means that's the adjective. Good. And then Kylie, go ahead and find the adverb. Remember, those are usually ly.
Yeah. Immediately.
There you go. Good. So adv on top of immediately. Check those two things. Let's see. Can you still hear me, Jason?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I can still hear you. I'm trying to restart my computer, see if that helps.
Okay, no problem. You keep working on that, okay? I'm going to have Ian. Do you remember the word we used to help us remember the coordinating conjunctions, Ian? Do you remember?
Like fanboys?
Yes, good. So everybody write right here next to coordinating conjunction, write the word in all caps, fanboys. Go ahead and write that word fanboys. You guys remember what each letter stands for? I bet Kylie knows. For, good, that's one.
For and nor,
Keep going. You guys can say it together.
but,
Good.
or,
Yes.
yet, and so.
Good. Nice. Excellent, guys. So, okay, Ian, where is the coordinating conjunction in these sentences?
And.
Good. Right here, CC for coordinating conjunction. Good job. Now, here's a little tip that I told you before with the prepositional phrases. You can skip it and come back, and it makes it even easier to find. So let's come back to that. I'm going to have Natalia. Where is the that clause? Remember, it starts with the word that.
Excuse me.
Oh, yes.
Hello.
I'm sorry, Kylie's trying to say something. What was that, Kylie?
I found the prepositional phrases.
Okay, don't say them though yet, okay? Because you've done this class before, so it's easy for you. I'm trying to see if they can find them too. But Natalia,
Prepositional phrases? That is at the bottom.
okay, right here. Good. What's the whole phrase? It starts with that, and then where do I put
I can hit it.
There you go. Good. So put parentheses just like that and write that above it. You're labeling the that clause, okay? Nice. And then the subject verb pairs. I'll come back to you, Kylie, for the prepositional phrases, okay? But let me have
I know the prepositional phrases.
good. But Ian, let's go to the verbs next. Where are the verbs? That's for Ian.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Took.
Good. That's one. Keep going.
Challenged.
Good. Look for the words that don't have a label yet, okay, and try to find the verbs that way. It's easier because this has a label, that has a label. See
right by do you.
Yep, I got that. At the bottom here, here's a word that doesn't have a label yet.
That.
Yep, that's a verb. And then that word do is a helping verb, okay? That one's actually linking. It's linking the noun to the verb here. So the word
It's
do
only-
is also a verb.
But it only says 4 verbs.
It says, okay, that is a little confusing. It says 4 subject verb pairs. So there's 4 subjects, but sometimes there's more than 4 verbs. And in this case, there's more
Oh,
because we also have can, hit. Those are both verbs here. So we've got a lot more verbs, but there's only 4 subjects. Okay. So I'm going to ask Natalia, help me find the subject. So who was it that took offense for the subject?
Robin.
Good, Robin. So put an S above the N there. And then he also challenged, this still the same subject with challenged. How about here? This is a little tricky, Natalia, right here where he says, sir, do you see the deer at the edge of the wood? Do you see? Who's the subject in that sentence?
Sir.
It's actually you. Remember that noun of direct address we talked about and how if there is a noun of direct address, which is right here, sir, then the subject becomes you. Okay, just a clue there. That was a tricky one though. And then how about the last part here? Who bet? Who was the one that bet?
I.
Good. So the subject is I in that sentence. And then the last part here, who can hit it?
I.
I again, because remember that clause has a subject verb pair too. Okay, Kylie, I know that others know the prepositional phrase, but where are the 2 prepositional phrases here?
At the edge
At the edge, good.
and then of the wood.
And of the wood, nice job. So notice at does not have a label yet. And of does not have a label yet. That's why we wait till the end, because that's easy to find. Everything else on here has a label on top of it. So if you have trouble finding the prepositional phrases, that's a trick. Awesome. Okay, we got through that list. Capitals, we need Robin. We need sir. We need I think that's all of it. 1, 2. Nope, I'm missing one.
The other I.
Oh yeah, the other I
Like
right
that.
here. Thank you. Commas. Now we do need a comma after Robin because that is a noun of direct address. He's speaking to Robin. Oh, just kidding. Not that one. Sorry. Sir, that's what I meant. He's speaking to sir. Sorry, I messed up on that. He's speaking to sir. That's the noun of direct address. So sir, comma, do you see the deer at the edge of the wood? And then right here, Robin immediately took offense and challenged the forester. It's just naming 2 verbs together. It's naming took and challenged.
So we don't need that.
We don't need that. Only if there's 3 or more do we need a comma there. Good. Thank you, Ian. And then, of course, your end mark is a period, and it goes right inside the quotation mark. The period goes right inside of that. All right, that was a lot. This was a big lesson. So this is your homework is going to be the next 3 pages. So 28, 29, and 30. Don't forget to write it down here later after class. You guys have any questions about this page?
Nope.
Okay, so if you have trouble with those prepositional phrases, wait till the end and you'll be able to find them easily because everything else will have a label on it. That's a good trick to remember. All right, now get out your binders and go ahead and get out all the papers in the front pocket from this week, which should be the disgusting or delicacy writing. You need everything out from your front pocket. Okay. For disgusting or delicacy, get all those out. And then your keyword outline, your paragraph, if you typed it and you didn't print it, that's okay. But get out everything for disgusting or delicacy. And before we start putting it away, I do want you to get out from that stack, page 21. This is the yellow page here. We're starting with this page, page 21. And you should already have ly adverb written here next to number 1 on this page. This is page 21. ly adverb, you should already have that on there. For number 2, I want you to write in who/which clause. And you're going to go, oh, wait, we talk about that in grammar. And guess what? We do. We have talked about that in grammar. So we're going to now add that to our writing. A who/which clause, remember, has who or which. Who, we use who to refer back to a person or an animal that's acting like a person. And we use which when we're referring back to a place or a thing, something like that. And we're going to practice using those in our writing. Now there's 2 on our checklist, and you'll see that in a minute when we look at the next checklist. After you write in who, which, go ahead and put this yellow page behind the tab that says stylistic techniques. It's toward the back. Open up your binder, make sure it's laying flat there. And you're going to see this tab way back here. And it's called stylistic techniques. And behind that tab, stylistic techniques, you need to put that yellow page. Kind of easy to remember because it says at the top here, stylistic techniques. That's where it goes back there. Yay, Jason. I'm glad it's working now for you. That's good. It just sounded like you needed the update.
I had to restart my computer to update and actually solve it, unfortunately.
I've had to do that before too, and I understand it's annoying when they're but I'm glad it's working. Okay, once you get that yellow page away, there's another yellow page that looks like this. That yellow page 23 goes behind model charts and outlines. So go to model charts and outlines behind that tab, and you're going to put it behind the paper that's in there already. It's this one, Ian. This is page 23. And it goes behind model charts and outlines.
Wait, so where does it go?
Model
Where does that
charts
go?
and outlines. That's for this yellow page right here.
Yellow pages?
Yeah, this one that's page 23. Where that goes. Model charts and outlines. It goes behind what the one you already have in here. This one, it goes past that. Put it there. Okay. Got it, Ian? We do a lot in the binder, so you got to really, like, I know it's a lot, but close up your rings, and then I want you to turn to finished compositions, this one. Finished compositions. And that one you should see like the blue ringed octopus. We already did that one. Go behind that. Go behind that, and now put away all that you have for disgusting or delicacy. Okay, so this page.
Excuse me,
Yes.
can I finish writing it? I did not finish it.
Oh, okay. If you did not finish it, then you can keep it out in your front pocket until you're finished, and then put it
And
away.
then I'll take a picture and, okay.
Yeah, upload it to Google Classroom and everything. But if you're already turned in your homework and you're done with this, go ahead and put it behind finished compositions, your keyword outline, your paragraph, everything to do with disgusting or delicacy. Okay. Give me a thumbs up when you got all that put away.
Wait, including this yellow page?
Which one, Ian? I can't. Oh, no, that goes behind. You missed that. That goes behind stylistic techniques. There's a tab that says stylistic techniques. That page goes behind that tab. Did you have a question too? Don't forget, you guys close the rings when you turn pages. Otherwise, it starts falling out. Don't forget that. Okay. Everybody get that put away? Jason?
Do we
Where do
also
these-
put this away also?
I can't really see it in your screen. Is it this page? It looks like that.
And blurred my screen.
Does it is it the the disgusting or delicacy page like this? Is it?
Yes.
Yes, that goes back there too, behind finished compositions,
Including the composition checklist.
including the composition checklist, including the actual story, disgusting or delicacy, and your keyword outline and your paragraph. So everything that has to do with disgusting or delicacy goes behind finished compositions.
One more thing, sorry. Was the composition checklist the checklist I was supposed to submit?
Yes.
Oh, I submitted the yellow page.
Oh, whoops. Okay. That's okay.
I'll try to change that.
Okay. That's okay. I'll take care of that later too. I might send it back to you and then you could resubmit it. That's okay too. But the checklist, yes, I always want you from now on to submit the checklist every week. And you'll notice that on Google Classroom. So, okay, once you get all that away, I want you to go back to the front of your binder, go to source texts, because we're getting out the next week now. Okay, when you turn that tab, you should see week 3, the eagle and the jackdaw. You're going to take out all of week 3. It's going to be 4 pages. Actually, just kidding, 5 pages. Okay, take out 5 pages, all of week 3. And then when you take it out, once you see week 4, leave that in there. Don't take out week 4. Only take out week 3, all of week 3, okay? You can open up your rings and take that out of your binder. There's 5 pages to take out. You will also need a lined piece of paper, just one. And then once you have all that out and ready, give me a thumbs up. Did you get it out, Ian? Okay, good.
Did I get what out?
Ian, are you listening?
Yeah.
I see you messing with your Zoom call again. Please don't do that, okay? Because you missed everything I told you and now you're behind. You need to go to the tab that says source text and get out all of week 3, okay? You also need to get out a lined piece of paper. Okay.
Is it page 29, 27, 31, 33, and 35?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Good. And once you get that out and a lined piece of paper, we'll get started. Okay. Let's get started. I want you to now look at this page from your stack that you just got out from week 3. It is page 29 and it's called Letter to the Editor. Go ahead and find that page first from the stack that you just got out of your binder. And I want you to put your name here where it says writer's name.
Do we put our first name only or our first name and last name?
Oh, good question. You could put your first name and last name. I know it's just for your, okay, so this is a letter to the editor. Now, an editor is a person that you hire if you're writing a book or an article or something. You hire an editor to check your work, to make sure your grammar's good, to make sure your spelling is good, and that it makes sense and all that. So obviously you guys don't have several $100s hanging out in your pocket ready to pay for an editor to read your work. So I don't expect you to pay an editor, but you're going to hire your mom or your dad or whoever adult is in your house to edit your work. After you've checked it all, you're going to hand it to them. Now, this letter explains what we want your editor to do. And it also explains how you can kind of pay or repay your editor by making, if it's your mom, making her a cup of coffee or bringing her a snack or helping with the dishes or something like that, where you're actually doing something as payment for helping you with your writing. Okay. And this is just a letter that I want you to hand to them after class. Okay. Now, I want you to go to the story that we're going to read today, which is called The Eagle and the Jackdaw. This is page 31. Go ahead and go to that page next. This is another Aesop's fable. And if you remember, those are like the lion and the mouse and the tortoise and the hare. They're stories that usually involve animals and that teach us a lesson, a life lesson. Okay. And this one's called The Eagle and the Jackdaw. By the way, a jackdaw is a crow, like a black crow. And I know we all know what those are because they're all over California. But they're annoying birds and they're loud, they get into the trash, they make a mess. Crows are pretty annoying, but that's what a jackdaw is. Okay. And then I'm going to read this and then we'll talk about what is the life lesson we can learn from it. A large eagle flew down from his lofty perch, seized upon a small lamb, and carried him aloft with powerful wings and talons. A jackdaw observed the eagle's prowess and was stirred with envy. He wanted to emulate the strength and skill of the eagle. Therefore, he flew around with a great whir of his wings and settled upon a large ram, intending to carry him off. But his claws became entangled in the ram's fleece, and he was not able to release himself release himself, though he flapped his feathers as much as he could. The shepherd, seeing what had happened, ran up and caught him. He at once clipped the bird's wings and took him home that night as a gift for his children. They said to him, "Father, what kind of bird is it?" He replied, "I am certain he is a crow, but he would like you to think he is an eagle." So it's kind of a weird story. This is a weird one. I'll say that. I wanted to explain a couple of things.
What does it mean, clip his wings?
I was just going to explain what that is. So clipping his wings means trimming the feathers. Now, if you have any chickens or know anybody that has chickens, it's common for farmers to trim the wings. It does not hurt them. It's not cutting through the flesh. It's just cutting the feathers so that when a chicken flaps its wings, sometimes they flap and jump and they can actually jump out of the coop. And then if they get out of the coop, they don't know, they're not super smart. They don't really know how to get back in sometimes. And then they're lost, right? So a lot of times farmers will just trim the feathers of the wings so that when they flap, they don't fly up. And that's what they did with this bird, the jackdaw. If you trim just the feathers, it can't fly. So that way they can keep it in their backyard, as a pet, and it's not going to fly away. Okay. So that's what that means. And what else is in here that you might not know? Let's see. A ram, is a big male sheep. They're huge. They're
What
like
about
200 or 300 pounds. What was the question?
what about emulate?
Emulate, good. Yes. He wanted to emulate the strength. So he was trying to copy, basically, is what emulate means. he saw that eagle and he's like, wow, that eagle is so cool. And look, it carried away that little lamb. By the way, poor little lamb, right? He's
Yeah.
dinner. So, but he carried him away. The eagle is huge and has big talons. Those are the claws on the eagle and the jackdaw. But the crow or the jackdaw is much smaller than an eagle. Plus, he tried to carry off like a daddy lamb here, this big daddy right here. And there's no way that little bird can carry this big animal. Okay, so what is the lesson? What's the life lesson we could learn from this?
Also, not to mention, there's a tinier lamb right beside him.
Yeah, and that might have been maybe a sister or brother to the other little lamb that the eagle took away. Could be.
Yeah, and there's a tiny other little lamb right by it. Looks
Way back there.
right by it.
Oh, right here. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's another one by his mouth. Yeah. There's like, you could have took all of those, but you had to choose that one and die. Well, I mean, he didn't die.
Yeah, he didn't die. So what is the lesson we can learn from this story? Anybody have any ideas? You can raise your hand if you know a life lesson. What do you think, Kylie?
Well, don't go copying somebody else.
Don't go copying somebody else. That's a good lesson. How about Ian? Do you have an idea?
Don't be prideful.
Oh, that's a good one too. Or envious. That word envy means like it happens to us too. If we see somebody that has something really cool that we wish we had, sometimes we have envy or jealousy, right? But that's never a good idea. He tried to be an eagle and he couldn't because he's not like an eagle. He's smaller than that.
He was
So
made that way on purpose.
that's right, Kylie. I like how you said that. He was made that way on purpose. There's other things that the crow can carry away, but he's not meant to.
There are things that you have that other people don't have that people could want.
Yes. And when
Like
you
if
go ahead, I'm sorry.
like if there's a girl that can do back handspring and you want to do that, but you can do a front handspring, and then the other person can't do that.
That's right. That's a good example. So be thankful for what you can do. And
I can't do both of them.
Yeah, I can't either. So go ahead and put your name up here on your lined paper. And then today's date is going to be 10/12/03. But that's good. You guys got the idea of the lesson as far as what lesson we can learn. Go ahead and skip a line and copy that title, the eagle and the jackdaw. Notice that and the are not capitalized in this title. Remember, the rule is the first word is always capital. And then the key words are capital after that. Excuse me. So that's a little title rule as far as capitalization for you to remember. From here, this is our KWO. And there are 8 sentences in here, actually 9 technically. So skip a line. We're going to do Roman numeral 1. And then I want you to number 1 through 8. Remember that Roman numeral is the first topic sentence of the paragraph. Okay, this is the last story we're going to do sentence by sentence. After this, in the next week, we're going to move into something different. So, but for now, we're going to keep looking at each sentence and pulling out those keywords from each sentence. So let's get started on that. I know I'm kind of moving fast, but we have some catching up to do. I'll do the first one, and then I'm going to have you guys take turns with the other ones. Remember, the rules are still the same, 3 keywords only. You can use numbers, abbreviations, and symbols for free. Okay, you don't have to count those. A large eagle flew down from his lofty perch, seized upon a small lamb, and carried him aloft. Oh, that word aloft just means away. Okay, he carried him away with powerful wings and talons. So I am going to say, I'm going to start by making a symbol. and I'm going to put a capital E with a circle around it. And the other thing I want you to do is circle the E in the title. That's going to remind you that that symbol stands for eagle. When you see that E, that's what that means. That way we don't have to waste one of our words on the word eagle. We can just use a symbol. He was perched up on something, right? He was on from his lofty perch. I'm going to say perch here. The eagle was in his perch, right? And then I'm going to draw kind of like a down arrow, a diagonal down arrow like that, because he flew down from his perch, right? That way we can use that symbol. And then he seized upon, that just means he landed on a small lamb. I'm going to put lamb. So the eagle was on his perch. He flew down onto the lamb, and then he grabbed it with his talons. I'm going to put talons here. Talons, remember, are his claws. It's his feet. On a bird like that, on an eagle, it's called talons. Then he flew up, right? He carried him aloft. That means he carried him away into the air, into the sky. So that was kind of a tricky one. That's why I would help you with that first one. But the eagle was sitting on his perch. He flew down to the lamb, grabbed it with his talons, and then flew away. All right, the next sentence, I'm going to have Jason, when you're done writing that, I'm going to have you help us come up with the next keywords here. A jackdaw observed the eagle's prowess and was stirred with envy. How can we put that in our outline?
Probably like the E for eagle, the J for jackdaw.
I like that. Let's do J.
That's just what I was going to say.
Good. And then circle the J up here just to remind you later if you need to remember what that means. But yes, I like, good job, both of you, for that. Okay. And then what do you think?
Still talking to me or?
Yeah, go ahead, Jason. You can do the rest of that one.
Sorry, just make sure. I would think stirred with envy, something like so. I would say envy.
Envy. Stirred is good too, but remember he observed. I think we should probably include that too. So observe just means like he was watching it, right? He was watching what happened with the eagle. So how about we put observed? That was good thinking, Jason. Observed.
Wait, you could put eyeballs for observed.
You could. You could. Stirred and then envy. Okay. So we got J for jackdaw, observed, stirred, envy. So he was stirred with envy is what that means. And that was good, Jason. Let's see. We got Natalia next here. He wanted to emulate the strength and skill of the eagle.
I'm not done.
Keep going. I'll let Natalia's going to work on the next one.
We could put J.
Okay. I like that.
And then we could put emulate strength and skill.
Yeah. I like it. Good. Emulate strength, skill, and we could even put an E at the end of that for eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay, when you're ready, Kylie, I'm going to have you do the next one.
Okay. Almost done. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. I know I'm kind of moving fast, but it's okay. Just make sure you get that written down there.
Okay. Therefore he flew around with a great whir of his wings and settled upon a large ram, intending to carry him off.
Okay, good. It's got a lot in it, so this one might be a little tricky.
You can go, say flew around, do a circle and then a down arrow.
Okay. write the word flew, or should we draw like maybe you know how to draw a bird in flight? How it's kind of like you could draw a bird maybe. Flew around. This is what I'm thinking. I like that idea though, like that. Have you ever done a bird like that? It looks like it's flying. It's like flapping.
Mm.
And then you said how to do around. How do you do around?
Like do like a circle and then like do a down arrow. Like for it to go like around and then down.
Oh, maybe like a swirly, something like that, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, so the bird, okay, so he flew around,
settled
settled, okay.
and then ram.
By the way, if you guys have different ideas, put what you want, okay? But this is, we're going to go with Kylie's suggestion here on mine. But if you have other ideas, that's okay. Okay, settled, ram, and
Intending to carry it off. And then like intending and
okay,
then draw like an up arrow.
I like it. Good. Intending, and then an up arrow. Good job. Okay, Ian, when you're ready, are you writing this down, Ian? You have all this down on your page? Okay, good. The next one is right here, but his claws became entangled in the ram's fleece and he was not able to release himself, though he flapped his feathers as much as he could. A lot of information there. See how we can put that on the outline. Ian, that's for you. So go ahead and tell us what to put on the outline.
Sorry. I think you maybe like read the sentence again.
But his claws became entangled in the ram's fleece, and he was unable to release himself, though he flapped his feathers as much as he could.
Just one more question. I didn't think you could start a sentence with the but.
You know, a lot of times we don't, but this is a creative story, and in creative writing, it's okay to use that. And plus, it's old story. So in this case, it's okay.
Okay. Entangled.
Okay, entangled, we might need claws.
Yeah, we could draw a picture of claws.
Okay, claws and then entangled. Maybe I'm thinking like that. I don't know how. I know they have like 3 toes, I think. That's a claw, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
And then
entangled.
Yeah, I like that.
And then maybe like a picture of a lamb or a goat, something else.
Yeah, I don't know if we need that because we just mentioned ram up here. But what about his fleece? I think that one might be a key word.
Yeah, fleece.
Fleece, okay. That's his wool, by the way, in case you don't know what fleece means. That's his hair, his wool. And you know it's curly. It's got like a lot of little tight curls in it. So you can imagine his claws or his talons getting stuck in there. Okay, and then we have room for one more.
And then maybe like release.
I think so. What if we did release? How can we explain that he can't release? There's a couple ways you could
draw a picture of like a circle with an X.
Yes, you could do that. Jason, did you have a different idea?
No, it was the same thing.
Do an X like that and then a circle around it. You could also do like, have you ever seen at the beach? I might have told you this before. If you you see a picture of a dog, and then they circle
Oh
the
yeah, with one line across.
Uh-huh. You could do it that way too, either way, and then release. Good. That was a tricky one. Though he flapped his feathers as much as he could. So, but you've got claws, entangle, fleece, can't release, and you can make up the rest of that sentence for that. All right. We're going to stop here because we're running out of time and I want to go over the checklist with you. So your homework this week is going to be to finish these last 4. You only have 4 left. You're going to read through and finish those 4 sentences, and then I want you to look at the checklist really quick. You're going to write your paragraph too. That's part of your homework too. The checklist is right here on page 35. It should be in that stack of papers you took out. Now, if you're handwriting still, that's okay. I want you to try to use pen. If that totally stresses you out, use pencil, but don't erase when you do your paragraph. If you're typing and you want to practice typing, I encourage that because I do like to see it typed. But if you're not ready for typing yet, that's okay. Here's the checklist. You need to put your name at the top here, and then you're going to check these off like I showed you as you go through your paragraph. So the first one under structure says name and date in the upper left-hand corner. This is for your paragraph, like we always do. Composition double spaced. So if you need to put your little X's to remind you to double space, you can. But you want to skip lines because that's when we have space to fix things. Okay, so make sure to double space. And then when you go to write your paragraph, after you put your name and date on there, you want to make sure to put a line or a space for a title. But you don't want to write the title yet. You want to have a space for a title. Okay, and the title is going to be centered and repeats 1 to 3 key words from the final sentence. I know we've talked about this before, but when you get done with your paragraph about the jackdaw, the eagle and the jackdaw, the very last sentence, you're going to think of a word that you see there or use one of the words or 2 or 3 in a new title. You're going to change the title. And it has to come from that last sentence. So you're going to think of a word or 2 or 3 to use in your title. But let's pretend for a second that you already thought of a really good title that you want, but you don't see one of those words in your last sentence. You can change your last sentence to have one of those words in there. And then you're going to use that for your title. This part, like I said, you don't have to do this one because you guys turn in your work online to me. This is only if you were in person. And then your dress ups. Notice we have a new one. So now we have ly adverb and we have a who, which clause. So you're going to have one of each in your paragraph. Ly adverb tells more about the verb, right? Like the dog chased after the cat. Chased is the verb. So the dog quickly chased after the cat. The dog frantically chased after the cat. So ly goes with the verb. Okay. And then a who, which clause. You're going to add one of those. If you're talking about the eagle or the jackdaw, you would use who with that. If you're talking about the father, you'd use who. If you're talking about the talons on the jackdaw, you can say which. Okay, so use who or which. And then the mechanics down here. That's the normal stuff to make sure it makes sense. You used to capitalize your letters. I know I went through that kind of fast, but use this checklist and physically check the boxes as you complete them when you're writing your paragraph. So again, your homework is finish this and write the paragraph and make sure to follow these steps when you write your paragraph. Okay. Any questions about homework? Kylie's like, nope, thumbs down. Okay. If you don't have any questions,